Cheese is a type of dairy product produced in a range of flavors, textures, and forms by coagulation of the milk protein casein. It is composed of proteins and fat from milk, usually of cows, goats, or sheep, and sometimes of water buffalo. During production, milk is usually acidified and either the enzymes or rennet or bacterial enzymes with similar activity are added to cause the casein to coagulate. The solid curds are then separated from the liquid whey and pressed into finished cheese. Some cheeses have aromatic molds on the rind, the outer layer, or throughout. Learning something good to hear. Cheese is valued for its portability, long shelf life, and high content of fat, protein, calcium, and phosphorus. Cheese is more compact and has a longer shelf life than milk. Hard cheeses such as Brie, cheddar, and parmesan last longer than soft cheeses such as brie or goat's milk cheese. The long storage life of some cheeses, especially when encased in a protective rind, allows producers to sell when markets are favorable. Vacuum packaging of block-shaped cheeses and gas flushing of plastic bags with mixtures of carbon dioxide and nitrogen are used for storage and mass distribution of cheeses in the 21st century. The word cheese comes from Latin caseus, which the modern word casein is derived. The earliest source is the conjectured Proto-Indo-European root quat, which means to ferment, become sour. That gave rise to cease or cease in Old English and cheese in Middle English. History. Cheese is an ancient food whose origins predate recorded history. There is no conclusive evidence indicating where cheese making originated, whether in Europe, Central Asia, or the Middle East. Quite. The earliest proposed dates for the origin of cheese making range from around 8000 BCE, when sheep were first domesticated. Because animal skins and inflated internal organs have provided storage vessels for a range of foodstuffs since ancient times. It is probable that the process of cheese making was discovered accidentally by storing milk in a container made from the stomach of an animal, resulting in the milk being turned to curd and whey by the rennet from the stomach. There is a legend, with variations, about the discovery of cheese by an Arab trader who used this method of storing milk. Interesting. The earliest evidence of cheese making in the archaeological record dates back to 5500 BCE and is found in what is now Kuyavia. The earliest ever discovered preserved cheese was found on mummies in the Xiao Cemetery. Forgive me, I'm not familiar with this pronunciation. In the Taklamakan Desert in Xinjiang, China. Ancient Greek mythology created Iris. Such a high culture. Yes, I do agree myself. Forgive me for the pronunciation, I'm not familiar. With the discovery of cheese, Homer's Odyssey, 8th century BCE, describes the monstrous cyclops making and storing sheep's and goat's milk cheese. Translation by Samuel Butler. Yes, my butler is quite fond of cheese, such as myself. We soon reached his cave, but he was out shepherding. So we went inside and took stock of all that we could see. His cheese racks were loaded with cheeses, and he had more lambs and kids than his pens could hold. When he had so done, he had sat down and milked his ewes and goats. What an interesting word. all in due course, and then let each of them have her own young. He curdled half the milk and set it aside in wicker strainers. I have been compared to David before. It is pronounced Iwi. Interesting. Columella's Divi rustica 65 CE details a cheese-making process involving rennet coagulation, pressing of the curd, salting, and aging according to Pliny the Elder. It had become a sophisticated enterprise by the time the Roman Empire came into being. Pliny the Elder mentioned in his writings Caesus Helveticus, a hard cheese produced by the Helvetii. Cheese was an everyday food and cheese-making a mature art in the Roman Empire. Pliny's Natural History, 77 CE, devotes a chapter, 1197, to describing the diversity of cheeses enjoyed by Romans of the early empire. Oh dear, I seem to have lost where I was up to. He stated that the best cheeses came from the villages near Nemes, but not to keep long and had to be eaten fresh. Cheese of the Alps and Apennines were as remarkable for their variety then as now. Ligurian cheese was noted for being made mostly from sheep's milk, and some cheeses produced nearby was stated to weigh as much as 1,000 pounds each. Goat's milk cheese was a recent taste in Rome, improved over the medicinal taste of gold similar cheeses by smoking. I could do with a cigar myself. In 1022, it is mentioned that Vlach, an Aromanian, that Vlach shepherds from Thessaly and the Pindus Mountains in modern Greece provided cheese for the Constantinople.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck?
Many cheeses popular today were first recorded in the late Middle Ages or after. Cheeses such as cheddar, my favorite, around 1500. Parmesan, my real favorite, in 1597, and Gouda in 1697, and Camembert, keep it in your pants, in 1791, show post-Middle Ages dates. Here we have some incredible imagery of such cheeses. Hard cheeses in Germany. A piece of soft curd cheese, oven baked to increase its shelf life, beautiful texture, small bite-sized pieces. Cheese in a market in Italy. Beautifully packaged in an atmospheric building. A cheese display in grocery store United States. The signage ruins the view of perfection. That color is quite my favorite. Production. In 2022, world production of cheese from whole cow milk was 22.6 million tons, with the United States accounting for 28% of the total, followed by Germany, France, Italy, and the Netherlands as secondary producers. As of 2021, the carbon footprint of a kilogram of cheese ranged from 6 to 12 kilograms of CO2 EQ, depending on the amount of milk used. Accordingly, it is generally lower than beef or lamb, but higher than other foods. Consumption. France, Iceland, Finland, Denmark, and Germany were the highest consumers of cheese in 2014. I believe I contributed to about half of these numbers myself. Curdling. A required step in cheese making is to separate the milk into solid curds and liquid whey. Usually, this is done by acidifying, souring the milk, and adding rennet. The acidification can be accomplished directly by the addition of an acid such as vinegar. In a few cases, paneer, queso fresco, more commonly, Starter bacteria are employed instead, which convert milk sugars into lactic acid. The thought of cheese makes me produce my own lactic acid. While rennet was traditionally produced via extraction from the inner mucosa of the fourth stomach chamber of slaughtered young, oh my god, oh dear me. The flavour from the inner mucosa of the fourth stomach chamber of slaughtered young adds quite an exquisite taste, personally. Curd processing. At this point, the cheese has set into a very moist gel. Some soft cheeses are now essentially complete. They are drained, salted, and packaged. For most of the rest, the curd is cut into small cubes. This allows water to drain from the individual pieces of curd. Some hard cheeses are then heated to temperatures in the range of 35 to 55 degrees Celsius, approximately 95 to 131 Fahrenheit for all you filthy Americans. Cheeses that are heated to the higher temperatures are usually made with thermophilic starter bacteria that survive this step, either lactobacilli or streptococci. Salt has roles in cheese besides adding a salty flavor. It preserves cheese from spoiling, draws moisture from the curd, and firms cheese's texture in interaction with its proteins. Some cheeses are salted from the outside with dry salt or brine washes. Most cheeses have the salt mixed directly into the curds. Streptococci, my good sir. Other techniques influence